Lord help her. You are live, it says. Welcome. It's Sunday sermon. We just danced our butts off on my deck. Yes.
Yeah. Dance with us. Give us a.
I don't know what they can see on StreamYard.
If you can.
I think they can only we see the comments. It doesn't do like when just regular Facebook. It doesn't show you who's listening.
Oh, gotcha.
You can see because it says that 3 people are watching.
I wonder if I could see on my phone.
You can see on your phone. Okay. But if they have a question or comment, you guys, if you want us to talk about something, you can type a question and we will answer it or talk about it if you have a topic. My allergies are really bad, so don't worry. That's why I'm wiping my face. Nothing else is wrong today. Yeah. So it's titled, what is it titled? Something about your GPS, which I thought was hilarious. It was about finding your inner GPS.
We were starting our show, and I still apparently had my GPS on from when I was getting here, which I don't know why I put that on, but I just sometimes
know how to get here.
And all of a sudden, I guess didn't realize I was here, and it just said out of the blue, lost GPS signal, and then whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, it's
the whole world knows how to find me now. Yeah. It was just very timely.
And then we're like, wow, that's so symbolic. It was like the universe saying, this pandemic has made us lose our GPS, lose our coordinates.
Yeah, that's what you feel like you've lost it all, like your inner GPS. You've lost. And I was like, well, what if then you could put in like the destination that you want to go to, like love, right? You might end up at my house, is what I said too. It's a lot of love here. Or like you might find yourself somewhere else that you're meant to be that you didn't know you were supposed to be at, right? Like the beach or nature or whatever. Yeah. So that was really funny. What else? You wanted to? Oh, sleeping. Yeah. So has anyone else had a hard time sleeping?
Nightmares? Just poor sleep in general.
No, it's too nice out. Everyone's outside.
We have eight viewers and 2 thumbs up. One of them was mine.
Oh, hello. Good morning.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Goodness, our beef.
I know. It's just it's going crazy.
Lynn is going through a move right now. Good luck with that. I know so many people who have had to actually move during this pandemic.
Oh, yes.
It was kind of crazy times to do that.
It's stressful. I can imagine. So moving is one of the most stressful things in like the world to go through. I can't imagine having to move then in a pandemic and also be pregnant. Jessica, kudos to you. Our yoga teacher Jessica is very, very pregnant and she's also had to move and it's just, and she has a toddler. Like I can't even imagine.
It feels like it's things just pile on one on top of each other, but I gotta give props to people. Like you are so much stronger than you think you are because you're doing it. You don't think you can do it. We're all doing it. We're all doing it.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about sleep, but no, I don't want to. It feels boring.
Okay.
It's like I'm struggling with it, so it's okay. But that's not like a new thing for me.
Well, it's just maybe to acknowledge that, it's normal to have
totally
sleep
normal
issues. And when you're going through something that might be bringing up traumatic things in the past, and I don't know, it's still the same kind of things to
laid awake for 3 hours.
Right? Yeah. A lot of people are like, it's just so much is going through our brains. So I guess how do you quiet your brain, or how do you just let yourself be okay with that for a little bit?
Yeah, it's hard, man. I feel like I was there's certain things that are like dropped off, and then certain things that have drastically changed. Like I'm super creative all of a sudden, like out of nowhere. Like what? I mean, I've always been creative, but like with writing, I had this block before, and now I can just, like, my editor asked me to write a certain piece of the book, and I was like, okay. Like, normally I'd be stressed, I'd be overwhelmed, I'd be like freaking out, like, oh, and then get all worried about my writing. Is it good enough? And then go through that whole process before I actually sat down and did it. And then when you do it, it's like 2 seconds. She asked me that. I went upstairs, boom. Like, it came, like 3 pages came out in 5 minutes. And I was like, what? It was crazy.
Wow.
Which was super fun. But then I think what happens is then there's all this other stuff that gets piled onto that, and the realism of what we're in. So I thought, like, because of that, I'd like have this amazing sleep, and like, oh yes, I'm so creative, so my juices are flowing and everything's aligned, and oh yay. And then I woke this morning so grumpy, and I was like, oh, I did not sleep. And in fact, I had nightmares about stuff in my past that just got kicked up. I think partly because of stuff I was writing, but I think we've talked about this a gazillion times, but just that this time is hard. Like, it's hard. I'm such a planner in terms of like the business. And it's really hard. I want to plan the retreat, but then again, you don't know. And most likely it's going to happen, but we're in a tough spot. So.
And I just want to remind Ayana and everybody else that last time she had this trouble, she came out with a pretty damn persuasive blog article that was called, I think that might have been the essential one, your essential. And
it might have been the essential liquor one. Yes. And then I got in the news. Just saying. Yes, exactly. Right.
There might be a way to get it out in a way that is really going to be unbelievably productive, or not. I don't know. Be open to the possibilities.
That is so true. Thank you for that reminder, because I remember we were doing one of these. I was sitting at the studio, and I was, again, having nightmares, and so frustrated with the whole liquor stores being open thing. And I thought, like, I was beside myself that, like, the world was communicating to people that like, somehow that liquor stores were more essential than them, which obviously is not true. I get it, the whole reason behind it. And it just, like, angry and pissed off. And then less than a week later, I was like, well, let's write about it. And it actually came out really nice, and then got on the news and someone saw it. So that's kind of cool. So who knows what will come of this? You don't know.
Did you see whatever right now? Because one thing that kind of excited me was I saw the Coffee with the Chief in Yarmouth.
Oh yeah.
And I was so impressed with the chief of police from Yarmouth talking about mental health issues and how that connects to what they're doing, which is, hey, we're all stuck together. And if we didn't know conflict resolution before, and now you're stuck in a house with people that you didn't really want to you're used to having some space and all that stuff. I mean, what they're seeing is a rise in domestic violence calls, or domestic issues. That's what they're going around policing right now, because I think the things that Ayana teaches people could prevent a lot of those things. So that's how I kind of connected that stuff. But I just thought that was, I mean, increase alcohol by 55%, put people together where they can't leave very often. And what are you going to get? It's it only kind of makes sense, but it's that domino effect that isn't really being talked about too much, and isn't really highlighted as much as the virus itself.
It's pretty crazy. The whole domestic violence thing, like, what's scary is that I believe that there's more people dying, particularly women, that just aren't even getting recognized. I would guess that I don't have the numbers. I haven't done the actual research on this yet, but I will.
At least the trauma that they're experiencing is really affected.
The death rate is higher, because I mean, it has been, and it never gets recognized anyway. But because the COVID is so, like, what's at the forefront of everything right now, what's on the news. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. The news. Anyway, this is one of the reasons, is because you're not seeing that. And they're also, the people that have died a lot is increase in people of color, which isn't getting a lot of insight either.
Yeah.
The good news is I'm doing lots of Monday motivational stuff that will bring light to all of this. That's not getting talked in the news. So I'm going to bring the issues out because that's what I do. I can't just sit and complain. I might as well just take action and bring light to the things that aren't being talked about. Yeah. And I love that people are posting stuff like, if you are, you know, in a situation of domestic violence, you know, text me, you need toilet paper and ice cream and all that. I don't know that those things work. I'd be curious to see if those things work, but it's worth a shot, man. I mean, that's some scary shit. And what happens when people are in a lot of fear is they lash out at particularly people that are right there with them and quote safe, or victims that they know they're not going to hurt them back. So yeah, stuff.
So anyway, that back to that police chief, he did give a bunch of resources, and they want you to reach out to them before you get into that kind of situation, which I thought was so proactive on their part. And I mean, that's just, you know, ideal to kind of work on the prevention end instead of the end where it's already done. It's already damaged people. So hopefully that will help others.
That's good. That's really good to know, because I feel like sometimes what happens is like women get so discouraged because they've called so many times and then nothing happens, and you know.
Well, that's true.
But if they're directly saying that out loud in public, that's amazing. That gives a lot of hope.
Yeah, and if it's not the police to reach out, there are other places to reach out, and even just the resources. There's like Independence House. There's a lot of places, and yeah, we understand.
Yeah, there's us. Call us. Call me.
I can get you in with resources.
Yes, you can. You're qualified. You're qualified. I just have a bunch of letters after my name. It's nothing special. It just means I pay money to get an education. Lots of people with those same letters are not as amazing. Just kidding. Okay, so the news. Yeah. How do I say this nicely? Just be careful what you believe. Just take your time to dissect some of what's happening, and to know that some news stuff is just, it's all connected to larger things, and that the information that's being shared isn't always correct, and it's not the real information. It's not always particularly showing the full picture. So the wind really wants that thing behind us to just, I don't even know. I tried putting stuff on it. Yeah, because there's some stuff that's talking about people that have healed recently a little bit more, but there's a whole lot of like scare factor happening, a lot, which just scares me for humanity, because it's not that I don't know, that I don't trust that this thing is real. I totally trust that this thing is real. I've seen firsthand people die. I get it. But I don't know that we know the whole picture, and it's changing so fast that you hear so much information that is so contradictory that it's really hard to make sense of right now. So I'm just saying, just be smart, trust your gut, do the social distancing, all that. I'm not discounting any of that. I'm saying be careful. I'm just saying also question and make your own rational decisions.
Yeah. I mean, I've also seen a lot of conflict amongst even friends who are friends together normally. And it makes me, the inner peace loving child in me, just a little sad, because I think that, again, it's a distraction from sort of the whole thing. And we can get so stuck on that the seriousness of it or not, which is not really the issue that I don't think anybody would say it's not serious. But you know,
the universe says it's serious. We
we're
get it.
calling each other out on our protective equipment, and we're calling each other out on things. But really, do we really want to? I don't know. Call each other out, or do we want to actually get to the root of the problems and the issues? And you know, just I don't have any answers, and I don't want to throw judgment on anything. I just want us to think about it a little bit more and ask more questions, like you're saying. Like,
yeah, and the people are attacking people for the gloves and the mask and this whole thing, and you know, there's so much more information coming out about wearing gloves and how that's like spreading germs as opposed to like protecting you and other people, and what actually does the mask do and how does it protect and not protect. So do your own research is what I'm saying, and then make a decision that's good for you, and know that that's right for you, and then just leave other people the fuck alone. I get it. Like, you think that other people are out there like intentionally trying to like not wear gloves because they're going to like do something and spread the virus? You know, we don't know that. We just don't know that. I get it. I hear it. I hear the fear. I hear it. But just make smart decisions. Don't make them out of like, this is what you think you heard in the news is the exact thing to do, and that's gonna save the world. And then, you know, just have a well thought through, well-rounded, you know, response, and then stick with it if that's what you feel like is safe for you and your family. And don't worry about anybody else. They're doing their thing. They're also doing what they think is best for their family and them and all that, right?
To educate people.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
See people's stories, that definitely helps me too when I hear why they might be doing it. Some people have their own underlying conditions, so they're more concerned about themselves, and that's totally valid, and everything's valid. But it's just, yeah, I think there's a lot of misdirected energy, maybe. It's not really meant to be tearing down our neighbors and are making us suspicious of everyone around us. So that's just something I wanted to say. I also have an awesome, my favorite thing on Facebook that's been passed around this week actually made me rethink something. So I love when something makes me rethink something.
Me too.
Voucher Constant posted it, and I've seen it in other places. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. That's
we are not in the same.
Yes, I was hoping you would. Yes.
Okay, because I honed in on that like a mullah.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Because even I've said, like, hey, we're all in it together.
Oh, yeah.
We're all in the same boat. Struggled with how different people listening to it, but guess what? We all have our own experience, our own story. So I'm just going to read this and see if it resonates with you. And if it doesn't, fine. But it says, we are not in the same boat. I heard that we are all in the same boat, but it's not like that. We are in the same storm, but not in the same boat. Might not be, or vice versa. For some, quarantine is optimal, a moment of reflection, of reconnection, easy in flip-flops with a cocktail or coffee. For others, this is a desperate financial and family crisis. For some that live alone, they're facing endless loneliness. While for others, it is peace, rest, and time with their mother, father, sons, and daughters. With the $600 weekly increase in unemployment, some are bringing in more money to their households than they were working. Others are working more hours for less money due to pay cuts or loss in sales. Some families of four just received $3,400 from the stimulus, while other families of four saw zero. Some were concerned about getting a certain candy for Easter, while others were concerned if there would be enough bread, milk, and eggs for the weekend. Some want to go back to work because they don't qualify for unemployment and are running out of money. Others want to kill those who break the quarantine. Some are home spending 2 to 3 hours a day helping their child with online schooling, while others are spending 2 to 3 hours a day to educate their children on top of a 10 to 12-hour workday. Some have experienced the near death of the virus. Some have already lost someone from it, and some are not sure if their loved ones are going to make it. Others don't. Some have faith in God and expect miracles during this 2020. Others say the worst is yet to come. So, friends, we are not in the same boat from this storm. It is very important to see beyond what is seen at first glance, not just looking, but actually seeing. We are all on different ships during this storm, experiencing a very different journey. Wow!
So
on my place,
fucking point,
right?
On point.
And I guess accepting that that's all okay. That's how our society actually is, regardless of a pandemic or not. We all come from these different ships in the same storm.
Yeah, my husband
not always the same storm, but
talking about that because we start to complain, and then we were sitting out here on this deck. Hello, and and we looked at each other. We're like, we are so blessed. Like, we are so grateful, and we have what we need. We have food. We have a house. The worst that's happening is we're not getting income from the studio, and that's at risk. But as far as life goes right now, we're okay. And he works with people every single day that are struggling to stay alive, not from COVID, from life in general, and this makes it harder. So yeah, if we're not, same thing with domestic violence stuff. Like, we're not all in the same boat. Like, I come home to a safe individual, if I leave the house. You know what I'm saying? I live with a safe individual, right? So not everybody has that. And there are some, people that, it's not like the projects went away. There's people that are desperate situations before this came along.
Yeah. It's definitely hitting people who already were at disadvantage the hardest.
Right. Which happen to be people of color.
Yep.
A large
disabilities, people of color,
yes.
People of low income,
yes.
Minimum wage workers who are working in grocery stores, nurses and doctors, and people on the front lines of healthcare, and people who are on the second lines of care, like nurses who are providing care for people with disabilities. In group home, like personally, I know the group home workers that work at our company, they're heroes as well. They're going in every day, risking their lives, and so
Jason had to go check on my baby the other day, and I was like, oh my God, like, of course he did, right? But of course, like, I'm so worried for the baby, right? And then I'm so worried for our family because I'm like, whose house do you have to go in? And like, wait, how close do you have to get? Like, I started going down that road, like, how much, and he's like, of course he's got to go see this poor baby that is hurt or something, poor thing, first of all, but you have to do the same stuff. Yeah, it's just a lot more to think about. No wonder I'm not sleeping. Maybe this is affecting me a little more than I let on.
Bewildered while our bodies and our minds and everything is reacting to stuff that we've never had to react to before, or not in a long time anyway, if we have in the past. So
it just adds more layers. Yeah. It's just breathing.
Finding the opportunities in the struggle and the stress. There's a big need to actually reflect on ourselves in these more times of a little bit more stillness when we have them. So pray that everyone takes those opportunities.
Yeah.
If you have more that you should, you're okay about asking, because a lot of people are helping each other right now, which is awesome to see. It's my favorite part of humanity.
Yeah. And to the people that have donated to the studio already, thank you so much. It helps keep the mission alive. Yeah. 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 I think that's good for today. What do you think?
Drum enough. We hope that the dancing really lifted your spirits, and that we're just friends talking to friends here, and we'd love to have your input. And we're glad you tuned in or are able to watch this later.
Tomorrow, Dr. Damon Silas is going to be on for Motivational Mondays, which is now at 10 o'clock every Monday. I'm going to do an interview with somebody that is doing great things in the world. They most likely were before, but are just ramped it up during this COVID time. So I'm going to be interviewing him tomorrow. He is a author, I believe, of 2 books now. He's a speaker, motivational speaker. He's a psychologist. He's a incredible hip hop dancer. He's so sweet. He's just one of the best people on the face of the planet. So I cannot. He is also going to be at the Becoming Free retreat this year. He is one of the keynote speakers. Yes. So you want to tune in to that tomorrow. And again, that will also be saved, recorded, and put back on YouTube. So you can't tune in, but it's kind of fun live. It's more fun live.
So Ayana basically just turned into Oprah.
I have this incredible lineup.
Exciting, you guys.
People that I'm interviewing that just again wouldn't have happened if we weren't in this situation. So I'm meeting people, talking on social media. I'm like, oh my God, who are you? And you are incredible. And I can't believe I just saw that. Yeah, it's like the universe are dropping the people. Yeah, this woman she's just incredible. I don't want to say too much because she's coming later, but it was one of those things I was writing in my office and the computer turns on, there she is. And I'm like, it's in the back. I'm not paying attention to it. And I turn it off and then I keep writing and then something pops up and then she's on commenting on something and it keeps pinging. The universe was pay attention to this person right now. So I did. And so she's coming on. She's brilliant. Anyway.
Hey, Courtney, I see you said good morning. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, that is awesome. I'm very excited about this person too.
And more. There's more coming. There's so many more people. That's so great. Yeah. And my buddy there, he's coming on too. The guy with the dreadlocks. I can't say too much about these people. I don't want to give it away.
Oh, him!
That guy.
I'm like, oh my God.
I just got him earlier, so he's the 27th now.
Wow. I mean, these are some people who are thinking really outside the box.
Really outside the box.
Some great
dynamic approaches and thoughts to this time. Yeah. And you may not agree, and I could give a fuck. It's more open your mind to different ways of looking at things. I mean, because if you stay in your tunnel vision of one way, that
in your lane,
giving you information, just open your mind is all I'm saying. Because these people that are coming on have opened their minds, and are sharing information that I believe to be true in lots of ways. But hey, anyway, I think it's time to sign off.
Locally enjoy this
Joy
is awesome. Open your windows, whatever. Just enjoy the sunshine. Vitamin D.
Woo!
Yeah. So be safe, be well, be free.
Be free. What's the rest of our sign off?
Peace, love, and light sent your way.
Right. I'm like, what's gonna get it? May you live. Fat. We out. And broadcast.